Hello everybody and welcome back to the Yellow Rose Homestead. My name is Alexis and today I'm going to show you guys how to make homemade brown sugar, some caramel drizzle and chocolate drizzle. In the next video I'll show you how to take that caramel drizzle and make some coffee flavoring syrups along with some other flavors other than caramel. They're very simple, and in that next video I'll also show you guys how to make the coffee creamer. So you guys just stay tuned for these videos. I'm doing the homemade brown sugar today because I guess with Thanksgiving coming up, I have not been able to find brown sugar in any grocery store I have been in the last 2 weeks. So I'm going to go and make my own. And all you need to do it is some granulated sugar and some molasses. And not very much. So let's get to it. So I want to fill these 2 quart-size containers up. So these will hold about 4 cups each. So we're going to make 8 cups of brown sugar today. So I am multiplying my recipe by 8 to fill these jars. My normal recipe that's in the description box below is based off of 1 cup. So we're going to start with 8 cups of sugar. And then we're going to move on to the molasses, and it's going to be 12 tablespoons for dark brown sugar. Right about here is when I realized this is the bowl I usually use to make 4 cups. So I put way too much in this bowl, and I'm probably going to have to change what bowl I use to continue on later. But I'm going to give it a shot since this bowl is already dirty. Okay, so yeah, this bowl is not going to work out, so we're about ready to switch it up. But also, if you have a stand mixer, this process goes by a little bit easier. I do not, so I have to hand mix every so often to break up the big clumps. Look how light and fluffy it turned out. So awesome. Let's get this stuff packaged up into the bottles. I also recommend using wide mouth mason jars or just vacuum seal bags. I did not have any wide mouth, so I have to use my regular mouth jars. I will suffer those consequences later. And just like that, our brown sugar is done. The recipe for this is extremely easy. I will put it in the description box below if you want to make it at home. I normally, store-bought brown sugar is the same exact thing. So if you buy it at the store, that's fine. But if you're ever in a situation like I was with the holidays coming up, the dark brown sugar shelves have been empty for the last 2 weeks. So I was able to make my own so that I can do my secret little recipes on the pies that I make and not have to worry about it. So now we're going to move on to making the caramel drizzle. And normally I make these 2 side by side in 2 separate pots at the same time. So I'm done. For the sake of this video and the sake of not making it too complicated, I'm going to do the caramel and then end it, and then I'm going to do the chocolate and then end it. So for this, the ratio I'm doing is 2 cups of sugar to a ½ cup of water. I have made a detrimental mistake in this. I stirred this mixture together with a whisk instead of just swirling it by the handle. So I had to recover it by adding more sugar and water and then breaking up the crystallized pieces. So you're just going to let it bubble until it starts turning a light amber color, and then you can let the color get as dark as you want before you pull it off. So in the original recipe, you would have used 6 tablespoons of butter. I frankly had to use quite a bit more than that because I had to add a lot more to this recipe. But the standard recipe I'll have linked in the description box below. So I use the Country Crock plant-based butter. Right now it is actually cheaper than the store-bought regular butter, so it's like a win-win situation for me. Remove it from heat, whisk it a little bit, and then get ready to add in your heavy cream. In the normal recipe, I would have only added 1 cup, but since I messed it up and had to fix it, I added right under 2 cups. And then lastly, you want to start adding in your vanilla extract. You only need 2 teaspoons per normal batch. I frankly had to do, again, a lot more than that. So now we're going to get it all jarred up. I only pulled out 2 jars. I needed 3 pint jars and a half pint, because again, I had to right under double this recipe to fix it. It's going to look a little bit runny, but as it cools, it will thicken up. So just keep that in mind when you are cooking your sugars, to not let it thicken up too much on you. And that's it, guys. We got 3.5 pints of caramel drizzle waiting to cool. And lastly, we're making the chocolate sauce. So I started with 2.5 cups of cocoa powder, 3 cups of granulated sugar, 3 cups of water, and then a dash of salt. I put it on the stove. Give it a good mix, let it heat up to dissolve the sugars and the cocoa powder. Now that it's dissolved, I'm going to let it steep just on low for a few minutes while it thickens. And then we're going to remove it from heat, add our vanilla in for flavoring. Give it a nice mix and start loading it into your jars. And that is all you have to do to make this wonderful chocolate sauce that's good on anything. It is amazing and so simple. Now it's time to clean up and store. And just like that, in a few easy, simple steps, you made homemade brown sugar, caramel sauce, and a beautiful chocolate sauce. The caramel sauce has cooled. This one is the one I put in the fridge. It's still a little warm, but it is thickening up really nicely. It is so good, you guys. That's all. Bye.